This is the ball launch monitor I've been looking for. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. I just picked this up. It's my Rapsodo, and it's a ball launch monitor. I have always really wanted a good ball launch monitor. You might have seen that I have tried some of the other ones, the PRGR and the Garmin in the past, and they were pretty good. They give you some data, but none of them are really that inexpensive. But I was looking for something that would give me really good data, but also, as you might be able to see there, record the shot so that I can share it with you and not just tell you about it so that you don't have to listen to my voice. I went ahead and unboxed this. There's actually not that much in here. There is a little manual, and then you actually get the Rapsodo. So you get this little hard-sided carrying case. It has a little carabiner right there so that you can attach it to your bag. It's actually pretty nice. You get a USB-C cable right in there to charge it, and here is the Rapsodo itself. Now, I was actually a little bit intimidated by this because of the way you have to set this up. In one of the videos I saw, you had to like hold your phone over this and do some calibration and alignment, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna walk you through all of that. But I will say, I was happy to find out that it has an auto calibration, and it seemed to work right out of the box, and I took it to the range, and it seemed to work just fine. Now, this little device has a little bit of weight on it, but it's about what you might expect. It kind of feels a little bit heavier than a graphing calculator, which is about the same size. You can see how it's slightly tapered down here. Now, the USB-C port is right there on this side, and this little light on the front, this LED, will light up yellow as it's charging. This is the radar panel. I don't know if I'm using the right terms for the technology, but I assume it has some sort of sensor in here to determine your club head speed and the ball angle. And then on the other side, we have the little power button right there. Now, it does have some rubber feet, so it will sit on the ground and elevate itself a little bit. I think most of the time at the driving range, this will be on the sidewalk behind you, or maybe even in the grass. It does have this little flip up right here, and there are some things that I like and don't like about it. So one of the things that I think this could do is power on the device, because when you open this up, I think you are going to use it. But this is really for putting your phone in here, and so your phone will work, or your iPad, I think you can use a tablet with this, as the eyes of the device. So I think in conjunction with the sensor up here, that will determine when a hit has been made. It will record it. It will automatically track the ball flight, which is really, really awesome, because many of the times that I've shown you ball tracking, I've had to add that in post. So I have to use some software that will try to track the ball. Not really the ideal thing. I will have to record and bring back the data with it. But obviously, I can go ahead and power this thing up right here, just like that. And you can see that little LED light coming on. But it would be kind of nice if it just powered on like this. Now, I will also say that I think, as you can see here, this little flap that holds up the phone is perfectly flat right there. I think it actually should have maybe just a little bit of an angle, because what ends up happening is that your phone right here is placed perfectly forward. And the problem with this is that you actually want this primarily behind your ball. So when you're setting up, there will be some lines on the screen that will say, hey, put you here and the ball here, and the tendency is to kind of put it right between you and the ball. Now, the problem with that is that it doesn't screw up the data, but it makes the ball flight kind of cross over you, so it looks like everything is duck hooking. Even though the data is fine, as it tracks that ball, it's kind of crossing over. It's the parallax issue, right? And so what I found is that you really want the Rapsodo behind the ball and tilted just a little bit towards you, kind of splitting the difference, and that kind of tracks the ball flight going forward. What that does, though, is it kind of moves the camera back a little bit, so it's a little weird. I wish the Rapsodo would be forward and the camera was tilted just a little bit back so that it would capture you, because you have to kind of tilt the Rapsodo a little bit here. It's maybe a little hard to explain, but if you were to really put this right behind the ball, that's really the best area, but then you have to just tilt it a little bit so that you get yourself in the frame as well. Now, that being said, how does the Rapsodo work? Other than my rookie mistake of getting some of the shots where it looks like the ball is crossing over, duck hooking around, you know, once I figured that out when I was looking back at the data, I will say this thing is about the most accurate ball launch monitor I've ever had. My issue with the PRGR and the Garmin was that they were both pretty good, but sometimes there were just some really weird inconsistencies with them, as with all ball launch monitors. In fact, the GC Quad sometimes just doesn't register my shot when I rent with those. But what this does is the distance is really, really good. And in fact, when I went to the course after using this a little bit and I did the measure distance with my GPS watch, the numbers were spot on with what the Rapsodo was capturing here. The other thing that I like and hate is that it will record by club. Now you just wave your club in front of the Rapsodo so that it can read, I think, OCR, your club number, and then it will change that. But you can tap up in the corner of the app and change the club as well. It would be nice, kind of like the GC Quad, where I don't have to do any of that and it will just detect all of the appropriate data for me. But I get the fact that it wants as much accuracy as possible, so the more accurate data that you can put in there, the better it is. Now, the nice thing about that is it will group your shot data by the club, so you can view that as well. The only real two criticisms I have with this is, one, a fundamental data problem. So, as far as I could tell, I think the club head speed was a little optimistic on the Rapsodo. For whatever reason, as far as I can tell, I'm really getting 80, 81, 82, 83. And I think part of the proof for that is that the ball flight distance really doesn't match what the club head speed is saying. Now, obviously, launch angle and all that can be an issue in spin, but based on that, I think it's actually just a little bit optimistic. I think I'm actually swinging in the very low 80s at the maximum, and that's backed up by the GC Quad as well as some of the other simulators I use. So for whatever reason, maybe it's the angle, or maybe it's the autoflex, or maybe it's the reflection, or whatever it is, the Rapsodo seems to be a little aggressive on that. So I kind of ignore the club head speed data. But what I do look at, and what seems to be spot on, is the launch angle and the total distance on this. So those seem to be right on. In fact, when I have changed the loft on my club as well as the weight positions, I see those results measured by the Rapsodo in the launch angle. So I think that is absolutely right. So if you are actually tuning or fitting your own clubs, making some adjustments, I think this Rapsodo is right on. It's a great tool for that. Now, my other criticism for this is that it really has to be about 6 to 8 feet behind you. So at the driving range, it's all right, because what I will try to do is I will try to find an open bay at the extreme far ends of the driving range, just so that I don't have a lot of foot traffic behind me. But on one occasion, I was kind of in the middle of the driving range, and I put this on the sidewalk behind the hitting box, and what I did is I put my golf bag right on top of it so that people wouldn't walk by and necessarily kick it. Now, that probably looks like it's really inconsiderate because you've got this golf bag, instead of being right next to you, it's in the sidewalk. But I almost feel like this housing should have been in a bright orange or something like that, so that it has high visibility so that people don't knock it over. I almost feel like I should bring one of those little orange cones to put next to it too, because it's black, it doesn't stand out a lot. My phone is dark colored, so it just doesn't like scream high visibility. And one of my issues with this is because it's a $500 device, I don't want someone just kicking it over and banging it. Now, I will say the really awesome thing about this is not only is the data very good, but it records the shots, and it does it in a really efficient way so that it's not just constantly recording, it's really only saving a very small part of your shot data from your backswing through the follow through, and then it freezes that and then draws the rest of the ball flight on there. One of my issues is you can absolutely spend an hour at the driving range, and I was wondering how is it going to handle an hour's worth of footage, but it doesn't do that. It really records some very small clips. It has all of those in the app, so what you have to do is you can go back and you can actually delete some of the shots that are maybe a miss it or a chunk or something like that, so it doesn't throw off your averages. But if you want to look at any particular shot, you can look at the data, or if you swipe left, you can also click on the video playback and see what that looks like too. It's a little bit novel. I think in many cases you don't need that, but I will tell you that I do see some things in the video that I can work on, so it actually is kind of helpful. It'd almost be more helpful if this were in front of you by the ball, recording your shot from the side so that you could see where your release and those types of things are. But I will tell you, for $500, I think this is the best ball launch monitor that you can get. One, because the data is so accurate, but two, you also get the shot recordings and the ball flight tracking. So many of the other ones just give you the data, which is absolutely fine. You can also actually turn on voice prompts, but when I was at the driving range, I didn't want that. I didn't want everyone to hear my shot data because it can be kind of embarrassing. But what I really love is that you can actually change the screen, and you do, as soon as you look back, see your data in big numbers there. So you get that shot data right away. So that's really helpful, just kind of looking back and saying, yes, all right, that was a good drive. It got me out there. It's kind of one of my longer ones, or no, that really fell short. So it's really nice to be able to just kind of glance back and see that data. All in all, I think this is really amazing. For $500, this is probably the only ball launch monitor that I would have. My guess is that other people can download the MLM app and pair this to your Rapsodo. So if you have some friends that also want to use it, you don't have to give them your phone. My guess is that they could download the app and create their own accounts and use your Rapsodo. So if you have a few guys that want to use this, my guess is that you don't have to each own your own. But it's really nice. It folds up nice and small. It can go in your golf bag without a problem. And this has been really, really helpful. I will tell you what, you may be thinking, why would I pay for a device that does this? Well, to be really honest, when I use the simulators, it's like $10 for 30 minutes, which is not really enough time to go through multiple clubs. So if you want to go and really work on your swing, if you want to kind of gap all of your clubs in your bag, you might need something like this. And this could absolutely save you money over time. Instead of a couple $100 a season when you get new clubs and you want to gap them, you want to see what the adjustments that you're making are doing. If you just want to hit in your backyard into a net, something like this will allow you to be a lot more productive. You know, for me, the simulators only allow you to go for 30 minutes and once a day. And so sometimes I'll take 2 or 3 irons maybe and gap those, but then I'm going to have to wait for another day. And if I'm modifying clubs, all I can do is wait till tomorrow to go and try out those modifications and then come back and modify them, and then can't get any more data until the following day. So something like this can keep you a lot more efficient. I just really, really love this. If you are looking for a ball launch monitor that is not going to break the bank like a $20,000 GC quad, I think this is the one to pick up. I will put a link to it in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.
We can discover more and explore so much deeper. We can live better than ever thanks to Peter Von Panda.